Back with Brian Viloria. Brian, we interviewed you before and went over a lot of aspects. The thing we didn't cover was Manny Pacquiao. What type of an influence has he been on you and also Filipino boxing?
You know, he put a lot of influence on me as far as being motivating me in my training every time I step into the gym. And the way he trains, I just want to, train as hard as he does and put all the effort and my motivation into preparing myself correctly for each fight. And he's the epitome of how to prepare yourself and how to fight in the ring and how to just hold yourself, accountable for anything through just preparing yourself. And for me, I try to, be like that every time I go into the gym.
Brian, before we went to a break, you mentioned fighting in Australia or going to Australia, not fighting there, but it'd be great to fight there. We've got a person by the name of Victor Chini, and I know a long time ago you guys were sort of spoken about as fighting each other.
Yeah. Vic is fighting at 118 now. I'm still at 108, and maybe the time has passed now for us to just look over towards different other fights. And I've known Vic since the amateur days, and he's a great fighter, and he's still trying to make his mark also in his weight divisions. But I think that time has passed for us to look at each other.
Oh, for sure. What about Hussein? Have you heard of him?
Yeah, I've heard of Hussein, who's also in the 112-pound division, and I've seen him fight a few times. And I don't know if he's still fighting. Is he still fighting?
Now and then, yeah, he's still fairly active. Not as active as he'd probably like to be, but like in the lighter weights in Australia, we run a bit thin, Brian.
Yeah, I mean, with all these great fights at hand, you never know who you're gonna come across, and every time you do, you always try to do your best and put a great show on. So whoever it might be, hopefully everything goes well and we just put up great shows.
Okay, your dad's a big influence in your career. How's he going?
He's doing great. He's been there from the start of my career. He's the one that introduced me into fighting now, and he still works hard as a father also. So right now he's still in Hawaii, just working on a lot of things there. So.
How many amateur fights did you have, Brian?
I've had over 288 amateur fights.
288.
Yeah. So it's been a very busy amateur career, and I'm glad turning as a pro has a lot of influence because of my amateur background and what I went through as an amateur, and I learned a lot of stuff fighting as an amateur, and 288 fights teaches you a lot of things.
Growing up, who was your boyhood idol?
Growing up, there's a lot of guys that that I was looking up to. Guys that I trained out of the gym was Andy Ganigan, who in the 70s fought Alexis Arguello. Jesus Salud, who was also a world champion himself. Those are the guys that I looked up to, that I was in the same training gym as growing up, and I look forward to becoming legends like them.
Yeah, well, Brian, you're well on the way from everyone on the KO Boxing Show in Australia. Good luck with finishing off the year strong, because supposedly you've got another fight in December with under the Bob Arum card. Yeah, hopefully everything materializes as far as me and Ivan Calderon with the unification bout. So by the end of the year, I just want to end the year on a great note, and it's been a marvelous comeback since I lost my world title to fighting 5 times last year, to winning a world title this year and defending it once. So hopefully I can end the year in a good note. Wrapping up the KO Boxing Show from here in Manila, the Grand Ballroom with Brian Viloria. Till next week, what do we say, Brian? Keep punching.
Solis was able to weather it and come back and land some good punches.
And right into the round 11, Viloria walks across the ring and throws a left hook. And we'll see how the champion responds. Anything can happen still. It's been a tremendous show. Big right hand from Viloria.
This junior flyweight division with Calderon, Edgar Sosa, the man who beat Viloria and lost to Solis a couple of times earlier in his career, and it is a very good, solid division, as is the one we're going to see in a little while, the flyweight division in our main event. Number of good fighters.
Absolutely. Reminds me of the days of Chiquita Gonzalez and Michael Carbajal.
Wow.
Those were great days, and we have a little bit of that now.
Absolutely, and more attention being paid to these lower weight classes. And this is what you get. You know, this is as good a boxing match as you're going to see.
Once again, you're right. And that's what we've been talking about, coming to this part of the world to see this where these weight classes put on such great shows, and it's a credit to the sport of boxing. And these two fighters certainly are a credit to the sport of boxing and the history of boxing.
I'll tell you, this is, you know, the interesting thing is that Solis again now being warned for a low blow. You know, you find out about champions when they are Solis is in danger, and he has responded. Even if he loses this fight, which is very possible, he's responded as a champion.
And his attitude is so tremendous when you talk about the fact that he's beaten Sosa twice and Viloria lost him. He said it makes no difference. It's just people you can't judge on that. It's what happens in the ring, and look what's happening here.
He was absolutely right. Brian Viloria.
Right hand once again. And you know, Solis has to hear the crowd and get somewhat discouraged sometimes. It's just human nature. I tell you why, if it goes the distance and Viloria doesn't get the decision, we might have to go under the table.
That's conceivable.
We might have to get under the desk. That's just a slip, little water, sweat in the middle of the ring. The Arenate Coliseum has filled up nicely for this fight card on a Sunday morning. Right-handed, down goes the champion. Finally, the right hand puts Solis on the canvas. That's it. Brian Viloria has won the World Championship.